So you're probably sitting there wondering if you can get a no credit check business loan, right? Guess what? In today's conversation, I have some good news for you. I'm going to share with you a $3 million no credit check business loan from GUD Capital. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sort of Kiwi Show. How are you today? Hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you are to ask me if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's discussion, I want to talk to you about a $3 million no credit check business loan from GUD Capital, and the APR starts at 4.95%. Before I get into the nitty gritty, please, folks, understand that this show is purely educational, purely informative. We have no affiliation, no relationship with GUD Capital. They have not paid us to do this show. All right, and I want you to let me give you a few details about this loan. Fantastic loan. Loan amount will oscillate from $5,000 to $5 million. Now, if you're looking for anything above $3 million, that means that the loan is generally an SBA loan. It's a government-backed loan. Okay, so the if you want something unsecured, you want to actually apply for an amount that goes all the way to $3 million. EIN only is possible. If you want to do it EIN only, they can actually structure the loan application for you in that mode. And in terms of operational history, they want you to be in business for at least 6 months. Annual revenue minimum $72,000. This is annual. This is a gross revenue. And sole proprietorships are excluded from this loan program. So if you are a sole proprietorship, you quickly want to convert your legal structure into an LLC, LP, S corp, or C corp. All industries are welcome into this loan program. Okay, so GUD Capital will work with you no matter the industry you're in. They have a fast approval process. We love that, between 2 and 5 days. And one thing I want to say here is the APR. I said it before. The APR starts at 4.95%. So when you think about GUD Capital, I want you to think about they are a middleman, if you want. They're a loan broker. They're not a direct lender, but they do a great job because they have a large repertoire of lenders that they work with. And there are several reasons why you might want to work with GUD Capital to get a no credit check business loan. As a matter of fact, we've seen in our research that a lot of business owners who want to get a no credit check business loan from GUD Capital have stated 3 main reasons why they want to get those type of loans. Too many pulls, so they're trying to protect their personal FICO. Bad credit, so they have less than stellar credit, so they're trying to actually get a loan approved without necessarily having the decision depending on their personal credit. And the third explanation was that if you were just exploring, so some business owners from time to time just want to explore what's out there. They're not ready yet, so they don't want to risk a hard pull just because they're exploring. So a no credit check business loan from GUD Capital, or any other lender for that matter, is a great strategy. Let me talk to you now about the lender. This lender. When we speak about GUD Capital, who are they? Folks, in this show, I'm talking to you about a massive business loan from GUD Capital. Maximum loan amount $3 million. APR starts at 4.95%. All industries are welcome. So GUD Capital, when you think about GUD Capital, I want you to think about a nationally recognized leader in the financing industry. And they actually provide a large repertoire, a large constellation of loans and lending solutions, okay? They actually have, in their network, they have more than 4,000 competing commercial lenders. So this is pretty good. Think about it. So when you apply through GUD Capital, you are in essence applying to 4,000 lenders. This is really wonderful. Think about it's like you have a loan marketplace, a business loan marketplace. Okay, and one thing I want to say here is that in the last 5 to 10 years, Good Capital has delivered more than 12,000 loan products. Okay, and we're speaking traditional business loans, but also alternative business loans. This is pretty good. And they have a team of financing experts that can really help you along the way. So if you are, don't worry if you are a startup or you are, let's say you have a bad credit business owner, for example, or your business is your business currently has a lethargic balance sheet, they could still work with you. It's all about giving them a call and having a conversation about what's possible and what you need, okay? And so one thing I want to say here is that Good Capital, based on our analysis, has some pros and cons. What are the pros? They have a network of over 4,000 lenders with over 12,000 different loan products. They can actually connect borrowers with nine types of loans, including SBA and bank loans. They work mostly with small and community banks, and they can help you decide which type of financing is best for your business. Okay, what about the cons? They have a large pool of options to sift through. They may charge you 1 to 2% fee for their services. You have limited information upfront about the application and post funding. And based on our research, we haven't seen a lot of customer reviews online. One thing for sure, if they're evaluating this lender on tens of criteria, including the loan variety, the loan amount generosity, the cost, the reputation, and the customer service, we assign Good Capital a score of 9 over 10. I want to talk to you now about loan types. What is the loan typology when you reach out to Good Capital? Folks, just to contextualize, I'm still having a convo with you about a massive business loan from Good Capital. Maximum loan amount, $3 million. APR starts at 4.95%. All industries are welcome. So the thing here is that when you are looking at the types of business loans offered by Good Capital, you have to understand, folks, that again, Good Capital itself does not issue those loans. Okay, they have it in their network. They have more than 4,000 traditional lenders and alternative lenders, and they will actually pitch, quote unquote, pitch your business loan application to all the lenders, and the lenders who are interested in your loan application will actually respond there too. So what are the types of loans that you might actually be interested in terms of no credit check business loans? Now, obviously, some of these business loans require credit check and others do not. For example, term loans do not. You might have term loans that require or don't require credit check. So you have SBA loans. So Good Capital is pretty good at that also. They provide also lines of credit, alternative loans, asset-based financing, merchant cash advances, bridge loans, and equipment financing arrangements. Okay, and I want to quickly go through the rates, the terms that you may have. So for term loans, you have 1 to 25 years. The interest rate can go from 4.95% to 15%, and the time to fund sometimes can go all the way to 90 days, depending upon the amount that you're looking for. Business line of credit, 1 to 3 years in terms of term, 6% to 15% in terms of interest rates. Time to fund, 3 to 30 days. SBA loans can go, the maturity of SBA loans can go all the way to 25 years. Obviously, those are government-backed loans, and the interest rates is a little lower, so 5% to 13%, 30 to 60 days, that's the time to fund. And then we have asset-based financing, 6 months to 3 years, 8% to 25%, 3 to 21 days at the time to funding. You have bridge loans, 1 to 12 months, 8% to 20% interest rate, and the time to fund 3 to 10 days, sometimes 15 days. Alternative loans, 6 months to 5 years, 7% to 25 years, 25% rather. So the interest rate will range from 7% to 25%, and the time to fund 3 to 10 days. What I want to say in general here is that the term and the ability to get a loan without a credit check will depend on that particular loan that you're looking for. What you want to do is, if you are in doubt, you want to contact Good Capital and have a conversation with a rep before starting the whole process. I want to talk to you now about borrower eligibility, folks. What are the borrower eligibility requirements for this massive, huge business loan from Good Capital? Maximum loan amount $3 million, and for SBA loans $5 million. But this is a no credit check business loan. So we have the APR starts at 4.95%. And one thing that's very important to understand is that they actually welcome all industries. And one thing we want to say here is that in terms of eligibility, there are a few things you need to think about. First of all, it doesn't matter the industry you're in, you will qualify as long as the business is legit, because they work with all industries. They can work with businesses in the United States, all 50 states. They even actually welcome Canadian borrowers and borrowers from the United Kingdom. So to qualify for bank and SBA financing, a business owner generally needs to have a credit score over 650, but this is not the point of today's conversation, okay? And but if you want to qualify for forms of alternative financing, credit score requirements can range from 500 to 650. Obviously, if you are applying for a no credit check business loan from GUD Capital, no FICO score is needed. And GUD Capital can provide startup financing in the form of SBA 7(a) loans, equipment financing, and loans against stocks, often used to fund franchise businesses. One thing I want to say very clearly here is that when we speak about borrower eligibility, the GUD Capital is pretty flexible in terms of what they're asking for. Time in business has to be 6 months minimum, okay? And in terms of annual revenue, as I said earlier, it's $6,000 gross revenue per month. So that's $72,000 gross revenue per year. In some cases, they might ask you for some ancillary documents. For instance, they might ask for a business plan, right? This is kind of quite essential. A business plan, especially if you are a startup, you want to have a business plan that is comprehensive, that is detailed in terms of your sales projections. In terms, you also want to mention your vision. You want to have a clear analysis of the industry you're in, the macro of the industry, the geography of your business, very important. And as I said earlier, also when I started this conversation, I was telling you that sole proprietorships are excluded. So you got to incorporate. You got to have a business, okay, a legit business, not a sole proprietorship, not a side gig. So you really want to separate. You want to segregate your financial affairs, your personal affairs rather, from your business's affairs. Let me talk to you now about the pre-application checklist for this huge no credit check business loan from GUD Capital. Maximum loan amount $3 million. APR minimum 4.95%. All industries are welcome. So when we talk about so what are the pre-application checklist? There are a few things you need to be very careful. You want to have that information ready. So first of all, first full name, right? That's kind of logical. The phone number, your email address, the desired loan amount. This is very important. Now, I'm not saying you should just say, I want $250,000. Can you back it up? I want you to talk to me. Can you back it up? Why do you need $250,000 and not $500,000 and not $100,000? Because you have to substantiate the rate. You have to substantiate the loan request. Is it for inventory? Is it for expansion? So all that information normally should be in the business plan. So your business plan should tie into the loan application so that when the lender reads the business plan and he or she looks at your loan request, there is consistency, there is harmony. Okay. The last thing you want is to have some kind of dichotomous information from one document to the next. You don't want that. In terms of a pre-application checklist for this huge no credit check business loan from GUD Capital, they also pay attention to annual revenue. I told you earlier that the minimum here the minimum revenue is $6,000 per month gross income, or $72,000 per year. It's very important to understand that if you are a startup or you have been in business for less than 1 year, you can still have actual data for the months you have been in operation and have projected data for the months where you were not in operation. Obviously, it's all very important to understand that you want to be truthful. Okay, we're not trying to fudge numbers here. We're not trying to doctor the business plan and invent sort of crazy numbers just to please the lender. No, that's going to hurt you in the long run anyway, because the lenders are pretty sophisticated when it comes to risk mitigation and risk appraisal, credit risk appraisal. So they'll find out. You want to put numbers that make sense based on your business. You also want to mention the loan purpose. Okay. And in some cases, they might ask you for the credit score. But again, it depends on the loan you are actually applying for. If we are applying strictly for a no credit check business loan from GUD Capital, you will see on the application form that they will not really care about your credit score. As a matter of fact, their application form is very succinct, it's very brief, and the whole conversation happens between you and the financing specialist. This is how their business model was set up. They would rather talk to you than actually outsource the whole application to an algorithm. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sturdy Kiwi Show. We are actually having a conversation today about a splendid, a superb, no credit check business loan from GUD Capital. Maximum loan amount $3 million, and minimum, in some cases, you might get $5,000, right? The APR starts at 4.95%, and all industries are welcome. Let's now talk about the use of loan proceeds. As I was telling you earlier, when we spoke about the pre-application checklist, we mentioned the use of loan proceeds. This is very important. You want to explain very clearly to the lender why you need the money and what for. So why you need, how much you need, and what for. And there are several loan uses that GUD Capital has approved, or at least GUD Capital's lending partners have approved in the last few years. You can get the money for everyday operations. This is really good, right? So we're speaking about payroll to rent to marketing to consulting to information technology. You can use the cash for equipment or machinery, depending on the industry you're in, because this is going to be idiosyncratic to the industry you're in. Very important. You can use the cash for tenant improvement. This is kind of important too, especially if you are in an industry where you are constantly expanding. You can use the money for inventory. Let's say you are in an industry that is subject to cyclicality or seasonality, and you really want to have a clear idea of the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows in your industry. And so if you can actually get some cash from GUD Capital to stock on to pile on some inventory for the holiday season, for example, or for the high season in your industry. You can actually use the money for debt refinance, even though for this kind of alternative for a loan from GUD Capital, a no credit check business loan from GUD Capital, we believe that it's just best to use it for other things than debt refinance, because the APR tends to be a little high here, but it's totally up to you. You can also use the money for a franchise. You can start a franchise. You can use the cash to expand an existing business. You can take care of marketing. You can take care of ads, advertising, a whole lot of stuff. Let me talk to you now about application, folks. In this show, I'm still having a convo with you about a huge no credit check business loan from GUD Capital. Maximum loan amount $3 million. The APR starts at 4.95%, and we love the fact that this business loan welcomes all industries. So to apply for this loan, you want to actually go to the link on the screen right now, gudcapital.com, get a loan, and you want to put your full name and your phone number, and then you want to enter your email address, the loan amounts, your annual revenue, the loan uses, right, what we just spoke about, and you also want to talk about your approximate credit score. Now, obviously, if you are applying for a no credit check business loan, you can include the data here, but they will not take it into account when deciding to approve or reject your application. And that's it. You just have to click submit now, and that's it. Okay, now one thing you can see on the screen that you have a notification for a successful submission. One thing that's very important is that if you need more information or you want to have some clarity about the whole process, we strongly advise you to contact a financing specialist at 1-866-526-0238. 1-866-526-0238. It's very important to understand that the funding process with GUD Capital is very basic. You have a very basic application form on the website, right? So when you submit that initial application to GUD Capital, they will reach out to you to get a bit more information about your business. And so based on the info that you provide to them, they will narrow down your borrowing options and come up with tailored recommendations for the loan products and lender in their network that is best for your business. Okay, and from there you will likely need to fill out a more formal, a more detailed, a more thorough business loan application for whichever direct lender you decide to apply with through GUD Capital. Let's say if they come with let's say Smart Biz or a Blue Vine or whatever lender they come up with, you need to have at that point the detailed information they need for the application process to go forward. One thing that's very important to understand also is that GUD Capital, your financing specialist from GUD Capital, is your lending partner. He or she will be your lending advisor. Any questions that you have, please do not hesitate. You want to contact them. All right, folks, this was it for today's conversation. Let me give you a quick recap here. So we were talking about a $3 million no credit check business loan from GUD Capital. And I gave you an overview about the loan, spoke about the lender at a glance, the loan typology, the borrower eligibility requirements, the pre-application checklist, the use of loan proceeds, and the application process in earnest. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.